here. I'm Heather Paris of LiveInspiredNow.com, the founder of the Live Inspired Now Coach Training School and all of that. And today we're supposed to be talking about how to love again. My co-host, Miss Claudia Vogus, is from Germany, and she is an absolutely lovely person. We were excited to do this broadcast together. Unfortunately, we're having a bit of a technical difficulty. I'm not able to get her on the screen, and we're not sure why, so hopefully she's working on that. But in the meantime, I'll just go over a little bit about myself and how I learned to love again. So, you know, Thad is definitely my soulmate, if you believe in those. And the funny part is I don't even actually necessarily believe in soulmates, but because I believe you meet a lot of people that you love through the years, but in the most technical term of a soulmate, Thad is that for me, for sure. So when he and I had totally given up on love. I was like, that's it. I've been married, I've been divorced, I've been married, I've been divorced. You know, this repeated cycle of being in a relationship with people that I thought I could fix or take care of, that kind of thing. And, you know, I just kind of gave up on it. And I was like, that's it. I'm done. It's just not for me. Love is for everyone else. It's not really for me. I'm just going to concentrate on putting love out into the world rather than looking for it for myself, because that just hadn't worked out. And so I assumed it's never going to work out. So the universe conspired and put Thad and I together, and I really truly believe that. That's why I have a hard time saying I don't believe in soulmates, because the evidence of something bigger bringing us together is just so apparent. So when I was living in Rhode Island, and I decided to move to upstate New York with my kids. So we moved here, and my daughter Madison, I was having a birthday party for her, and she asked if she could have a band at the house. I said, sure, absolutely. And so the boys all came with their guitars and their amps and their drums, and we had this huge birthday party for her. It was kind of a way for her to get to know people, since we're in this new place, and, you know, have a big party, lots of kids come over. So the band dad, the dad that brought all the band equipment and lugged all these boys and their drums and their amplifiers and all that, was Thad. So Thad literally came to my house, like front door. He was delivered to my front door. So the first time I ever saw Thad, he opened my front door and he leaned in and he set an amplifier down and he looked at me, and I smiled, he smiled, and he walked right back out to get the rest of the band equipment out of his truck. And in that moment, it was the craziest thing. In that very moment, at seeing him, and he was definitely cute, but it wasn't that. It wasn't like, ooh, he's so cute. It was in that very moment that I knew I had some sort of cosmic connection to him. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know that we'd be together. In fact, I was certain we wouldn't, because I was not dating anybody. I refused. I was done. But I just knew there was something. There was some sort of cosmic, when he walked in, I just felt this thing, this energetic pull or something. I don't even know how to explain it. So that happened, and it was pretty weird, and that's not something that occurs all the time in my life. But so after we did the party, he dropped off the boys, he picked them up at the end, all this stuff. I didn't even know. I thought he was the wrong kid's dad. I didn't even know whose dad he was exactly. But he friended me on Facebook. Oh, here he comes, actually. Hi, handsome husband. Come say hello. Hey. So I can't get Miss Claudia on the screen, but this is my soulmate here. Wait, hey. Come down. Let's so I can see you. Hey. See that? That's Claudia, but when I touch it, it says she can't be added. See? Oh. I know. And everyone else has a little camera, but hers doesn't.
Is she on her cell phone?
I don't know. Claudia, I'm going to let you talk to my husband on Instant Messenger. Can you sign into my account? Thank you. So Thad's going to try to bring Miss Claudia online. Hopefully we'll get her on, because her story is wonderful too. So anyway, Thad friended me on Facebook, And I was a gym teacher at the time, and he was always making these silly little comments about, you know, the cute gym teacher or whatever, kind of flirting with me. And we became really good, close friends. But in the beginning, like when we were on Facebook friends, I kind of thought he was a jerk because I was a vegan, hippie mom, and, you know, into peace and love and just radiating love out to the world. And he was a country boy who drove a big, huge truck and like was a meat-eating carnivore. And I was like, no, 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 no. I'm looking for like-minded, right? So anyway, we started to get to become better friends because our kids were in common. My daughter Madison was dating his son Jimmy's best friend Rocky, so there was a lot of overlap with our kids going to places and things like that. So we started hanging out just as friends. Now and then we'd have coffee and talk about the kids, plan out some stuff for the kids and this and that. And long story short, long story a little bit shorter, one day he invited me out to lunch, and so, which was totally, you know, regular. We'd meet sometimes and talk about the kids or any struggles that the kids were having. So he invited me to this lunch, and at the lunch he said, don't you think we kind of have like a connection? And I was so embarrassed, and like it was so funny. It was crazy. Like I was shaking. I couldn't hardly talk. It was unbelievable. I was like, yeah, oh my God, we totally do. But I feel really embarrassed. I was bright red. I was so shy and embarrassed. It was so hilarious. He's like, well, let's just go out on a date. So that was like a Tuesday or something. We decided that we were going to go out on a date on that Saturday. So that Saturday, he picked me up. We went on a date. We had an amazing time. We just laughed. Like, Thad has this gift. He makes me laugh my ass off. I think that's the best part. Like, laugh, laugh, laugh. And, oh, Claudia. Tell Claudia I did invite her to, her to join, too. Oh, so Thad's working on it.
This story never gets old, by the way.
I know,
I
right? I love telling. I'm giving like the super short version of it too. You gotta like touch that, and that will. Anyway, so while he's working on that, see, I invited her. See, it says sent already. You gotta touch up there to get rid of that.
I don't know. Keep telling those stories.
Anyway, so we went on our date, and we had a blast. Thad challenged me to spell the word roux, because we were talking about cooking, and I was talking about how when you start a dish with a roux, you know, when you make onions and a little flour and whatever. It's like a starter for soup and stuff. So, oh, he's coming back. Maybe figured out. So he said, oh, yeah, so I'll show them in a second. So he said, well, I'll tell you what, let's have a little contest. If you can spell the word roux, you'll win. I said, well, what will I win? And he said, well, you'll win a kiss. So that was his way of trying to see if I would be open to a kiss. And of course I knew how to spell roux. So I spelled roux, and he said, like, okay, you want a kiss? So later that evening, at the end of the date, he gave me a kiss. That was our first kiss. We had never, you know, we were always just friends. And so we had our first kiss on our first date. And then that night, so he dropped me off at home, and he went home. And that night, he sent me a message, and he told me that he loved me. He proclaimed his undying love, and I did the same. And that was it. We've been together ever since. And so he just brought this sign in to me. I had this sign made for him this Christmas. It all started with roux. So I thought that was kind of sweet. Anyway, I feel really bummed that Claudia can't get on and share her story, and I just don't know what to do about it. So we're just making the most of it. But I want you to know that Claudia is the bomb. And if nothing else, Claudia, please, please put your information in the chat box so that people can reach out to you too, because Claudia has this amazing story, and we will definitely do this again. We'll definitely figure out all of how this works and do it again, because she's phenomenal. And we have another Facebook Live coming up at the end of the month. So hold on, I'm trying to share this right now. All right, do that. Claudia, when is the thing at the end of the month? I know you tagged me in it. At the end of the month, we're having an interactive Facebook Live, How to Stop Being a Victim. Claudia and I will be discussing the power of identity and taking what happens to you as part of who you are rather than just as something that happens to you. We'll discuss the consequences and how you can change your life now. That's going to be on February 21st, right here on Facebook Live, at the same time at 8 a.m. Hopefully by then we'll be able to figure all this out and get it fixed, because I do feel bad that Claudia's not on with me. Again, it's just technical difficulties. It's probably on my end of things, so I do apologize to Claudia and to everyone watching. But we'll figure it out. We'll get it worked out. But in the meantime, I put together a few tips on how you can love again. I mean, for me, I had given up. I was like, nope, I'm done. I've been screwed, burned. I've screwed people over myself. I'm not perfect over the years. I'm done. It's just not worth it. And then, so I gave up on that. I was like, nope, forget it. I'm just done. But it doesn't have to be that way, because we as humans are here to love and to connect with other people. I mean, really, that's what it's all about. Because if I couldn't share all of this with the people I love, with my husband, with my kids, with my friends, it would be worthless. It just wouldn't be worth anything. So a few quick tips on how to love again. And I always like to say love forward. Love forward. And that's what I was doing back then. I was just showering the world with love. I was helping kids. I was volunteering. I was doing everything I could to put love into the world. And I really think that that's why Thad was delivered to me and became part of my life. But there are some things that you can do. So the first thing is to stop trying to stop the hurt. Stop trying to stop hurting. Listen, hurting is natural and normal. It's part of life. Everybody in our society wants to just stop the pain so quickly, but that's part of life, whether it's physical pain or emotional pain. If you break your arm, it's going to hurt. That's just part of the healing process. It hurts until it doesn't anymore. And your heart is the same way. It hurts until it doesn't anymore. Let yourself go through it. Stop trying to always distract yourself or put a band-aid on that when hurting is part of healing. So stop trying to hurt the hurt. Just go through it. The second tip, ask your friends for help. Ask your friends, your family, a coach, somebody like myself or Claudia or Jeffrey Miller. I mean, there's coaches, there's therapists, there's people out there that really want to help you get through a trying time. And it's wonderful to reach out to people that you love and care about. Let them support you. And I know I was one of those people that I wouldn't talk to or tell anybody anything, any struggle that I was going through, because that's just not how I roll. So, yeah, ask for help. Claudia just sent me a message. All right, let me look at it really quick. The third tip is, hold on, let me try to add to Facebook Live after you're done with this one so we don't lose time. So the third tip is, the third one is to do all the things that you never did before. You know, sometimes when we're in a relationship, things go on the back burner. Well, when you're single, that's an amazing time to try out all those things that you want to try on your bucket list. You know, if you've always wanted to learn another language, well, this is a great time to do it. Start doing some of the things that will fill up your spirit and make you feel good and make you feel independent and excited again. Of course, this is another tip. Of course, I have to say breathing and meditation. I'm an avid meditator and I'm an avid breather. And I know that's funny because we all breathe, but most of the time we all breathe wrong. I breathed wrong for a long time. I breathe properly now, and that's deep breaths that come in and out from your belly. So breathing and meditation practice, you can reach out to me if you want more information about that, but I'm not going to get into it here. My very favorite tip for somebody going through a hard time, and this is a #1 requirement. In fact, if you joined my coach, like I have a coach training school, the Live Inspired Now Coach Training School, every single one of my students has a volunteer requirement. Volunteering and helping other people is the #1 way to heal yourself, to start feeling better about yourself, to get through things. Even my weight loss clients, I tell them, go and help somebody else lose weight, because that will hold them accountable to living at a higher standard, to doing things that are better and healthier. So volunteering, help others, and love it forward. And then the last tip, and this is a really fun one, is to have a release ritual. A release ritual is when you do something that's going to help release you from a situation or from the pain, or from something that's been bothering you from the past. So what you can do is write down how you're feeling, write down all the mean things you want to say to the person that hurt you, or your ex or ex-wife, ex-husband, whatever. Just write it all down. Just vomit on the paper, right? Write everything that you wanted to say, that you feel, whatever it is. And then after you're done writing that, burn it. Don't send it to the other person. Burn it, bury it, or throw it away. But get that out, because again, you have to go through it. There's no shortcut to stopping the pain. You have to stop trying to stop the pain. Work through it. Get it out of you by writing it down and then having that release ritual. You could do it with friends too. I don't know if you've ever, it's an episode of Friends. Remember that show Friends? It's on Netflix. One of the episodes, they did that. I think it might have been a Valentine's Day episode, where they had this metal bucket and they put all of the ex-boyfriend's things in it. I think that's what it was. It's been so long since I saw it. And then they burned it, but of course they, shouldn't be burning things in an apartment. So the fire department came, and guess what? The fire department was loaded with all these handsome, hunky firemen, and that was the show. But it is very, it does feel very good to release that emotional pain, and you can do that with a release ritual. So that's what I've got for you today, how to love again. I really wish you could hear Claudia's story, because she is phenomenal, and I promise that we're going to work it out and get her on, and we'll do this again so that she can be part of it, because she is phenomenal. And so I'm Heather Paris, liveinspirednow.com. I hope you'll check it out. We have coach training coming soon, so if you're interested in being a coach, but there's no pitch here. I'm just letting you know some information. You can reach out to me. The best way is through Facebook. Just send me a private message here if you have any questions about today's broadcast, or if you want more information about Miss Claudia, I'd be happy to give that to you as well. So happy Valentine's Day! The funny part is, Thad and I don't even celebrate Valentine's Day. I mean, we on purpose don't celebrate Valentine's Day, because we've made a commitment to make every single day feel like Valentine's Day. So if you're celebrating Valentine's Day today, that is phenomenal. Have an amazing time. But please, I beg you, celebrate it tomorrow too, and the next day too, and the next day, and the next day. Celebrate the one you love every single solitary day, and you will really solidify your relationship and make it so that you guys don't have to have a breakup and have to learn how to love again. So have an amazing day. Thank you so much for joining me, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye.